afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever you are listening to me. So today we'll be talking about the dots and the cross products. Like I told you, this is MTH 303, factor and tensor analysis, whereby we'll be looking at some examples, and from then we'll be able to solve some of the key problems that we might have in this course of this facilitation period. So I believe you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you. Let's look at this example. Number one, find the projection. Find the projection of the vector. Find the projection of the vector A equals to I minus 2j plus k on the vector B equals to 4I minus 4j plus 7k.
Sorry, sir, we can't see your screen, sir.
It is your network. Others, can you see my screen, please?
Yes, I can see. Yes, I can see it.
It is your network. Please, you can off your video so that you can see. Or look for a strong area where you have a good network. Just adjust yourself where you are sitting. Can you see it now? Okay, let's move on. So for us to solve this problem, there are certain things that need to happen. A unit vector, you remember last class, I showed us this. Let me just go up a bit. Yeah, we proved something like this on the angle. Then we discuss about magnitude here. Now, everything will be divided by magnitude. Now, let's look at this. In this case now, to solve this problem, solution, we have it to be a unit vector in the direction B is, you can call it small b, which is the same thing as our b, vector b divided by its absolute value, the magnitude of b. So how do we solve this? Remember the way we solved the magnitude in the previous video. So we have our vector to be 4I minus 4j minus 4j minus 4j, are we there now? Then plus 7k divided by the square root of 4 squared plus negative 4 squared plus 7 squared. So if you solve the one in denominator, which is the one in square root, if you solve it very well, you are going to have everything up square root of what? Anybody? 16 plus 16 plus 49. 32 plus 49 is what? 81. So you have 81. Square root of 81. We have 4i minus 4j plus 7k. Square root of 81. So at the end of the day, what do you have? So you are going to have it to be in this separate form. Square root of 81 is equals to 9. Don't forget. So it's going to be 4 over 9i minus 4 over 9j plus 7 over 9k. So that is what they ask us to get. Remember, this is small b. We call it small b. You first of all find the unit of vector. Anytime you are asked to solve find a projection, it simply means find the projection of what? Of the vector A on vector B. So vector A on vector B, that means you need to find, first of all, solve for unit vector in the direction of B first. After that, you use that one to now use it as a projection. So for us to do the projection now, that's a projection of A on the vector B is equals to A dot B. Don't forget it's not cross. When you are finding a projection, you are using dot. A dot B. Small b in the sense that, remember, we already solved this one. So now let's continue. In this case now, we have A. What is our A? If anything is not clear, please just raise up your hand, then I can address it. If you have any question, just raise up your hands. Thank you. Don't forget our A from here. We have A to be what? So our A, vector A dot B will be equals to I minus 2j plus k dot 4 over 9i minus 4 over 9j plus 7 over 9k. Don't forget, in this case, component to component, I to I, j to j, k to k. Otherwise, 0. So I to I will be, what is the coefficient here? Who can tell us? Anybody? Hello? What's the coefficient there? Lazarus. For high. Are we together? Okay, we have I. The coefficient for I is 1. I will multiply with I. J will multiply with J. Then K will also multiply with K. So that is what we are doing. That is I to I, J to J, K to K. So it's going to be 1 multiplied by 4 over 9. You don't need to put I again because I dot I would have been I squared, which is equals to 1. So we have minus, don't forget, in this case, we put plus because we have negative 2 multiplied by negative 4 over 9 plus 1 multiplied by 7 over 9. So at the end of the day, you have 4 over 9 plus 8 over 9 plus 7 over 9. When you add everything together, you have 19 over 9. Any question? That is the projection they asked us to calculate. So let's look at another question that can also come up. They can ask us to calculate, to determine the unit vector perpendicular of the plane. Determine a unit vector perpendicular to the plane of A equals to 2I minus 6J minus 3K, and B equals to 4I plus 3J minus K. Then C, so that they asked us to find, they now said, this is the question, said, determine a unit vector perpendicular to a plane of A and B. The question, so we need to create C now. Now said, let's vector C equals to C1J, C1I plus C2J plus C3K. Be perpendicular. We can use this symbol. Be perpendicular to the plane of A and B. To the perpendicular A and B. Then C is perpendicular to A and also to B. Then C is perpendicular to A and also to B. Right? So, hence, let's look at this. What it means is, what is the definition of perpendicular from day one? A perpendicular is when you have, note that, let me just give you this so that you can have idea. Notes. Notes. If A dot B is equals to 0 and A and B are not non-vector, are not non-vectors, then A and B are perpendicular A and B are perpendicular. So we can see that we are trying to make this, remember we have A and B in our given way. So we now want to use it now. Hence, so I will come back to this point now to use it to explain. Hence, we have our C dot A, C dot A. Don't forget, we are using C. We said let C equals to this, B perpendicular to A and B. So we are now using C, the artificial C now, to multiply, to do the dot product. And the rule says A dot B is equals to 0. So C dot A will also be equals to 0. So therefore, we have it to be C. Now, let's say you are using C dot A now. This is C dot A. You're using them. So let's look at the way it will form. It's going to be what now? C dot A will be 2C1 minus CC2 minus 3K. Sorry, minus 3C3. In this case, we don't have K again because K has already multiplied K. Everything here equals to 0. So if I do the same thing, C dot B, I will use the same C to multiply B. I'll use the same thing to multiply B. Look at it. Let me use the same C. C1, we multiply this. C2, we multiply this. We dot this one. No? C3, we do the same thing here. So what do we have here? So we are going to have the first one will be 4C1 minus or plus 3C2 minus C3 because it's 1 that is multiplying. And you agree with me if I put it this way, that is still the same thing if I want to solve this, because I need to solve this one simultaneously. In order to get C1, C2, C3, they are unknown. So it's going to be, so it's going to be 2C1 minus 6C3 equals to 3C3. I can call this one equation 1. Then the second one, 4C1 plus 4C2 equals to C3. I can call this one equation 2. Any question? Solving equation 1 and equation 2 simultaneously.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
That's 2C1 minus 6C2. It shouldn't be 3.
Yes, it's supposed to be C2.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So in this case now, if you solve it simultaneously, what do you have? You have C1 solving 1 and 2 simultaneously, we have C1 to be equals to 1 over 2 C3 and C2 to be equals to negative 1 over 3 C3 So at the end of the day, what do we have? At the end of the day, you have it to be your C will now be, my C will now equals to, remember, the same thing we did here, the unit factor, B over magnitude of B, we do the same thing at that point. So for the unit, so we have C to be equals to, factor C to be equals to C3 in bracket 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3J plus K, which implies that our factor C, which implies that the unit, let's just then a unit factor in the direction of C is C divided by magnitude of C. Remember the way we did the first one? Now that we have C, I can go ahead and say C3 in brackets 1 all over 2I minus 1 all over 3J plus K divided by, let's find the square root, the magnitude of this one, C3 squared. Because if you open this one, each of them will carry C3, so you don't need to do that. Just factorize your C3 out the way I put it out there. So divided by 1 all over 2 squared plus negative 1 all over 3 squared plus 1 squared. You have to be careful at this point. How many of you believe that C3 will cancel out? Do you agree with me? I need a response, please.
Accepted, sir.
Do you agree? Because when you have square root of S squared, it's the same thing as S. Now, I have square root of S3 squared. It's the same thing as C3. So C3 will cancel with C3 up. So that one will eliminate themselves. So that's what I'm trying to passing across. So C3 will go. Then at the end of the day, we have, if you find out what is inside, you have 49. At the end of the day, you have 7. The denominator will give you 7. Then you have it to be, are we there, please? Let's find the square root. What do you have inside, please? One over what, please?
1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/9 plus 1.
So when you add everything together, what do you have?
9 square root 9.
And find the square root.
Yes.
This is 9 multiplied by 4 is what?
That's 36.
How many 4 is in 36?
9.
9 times 1.
That's 9.
4, how many 4? How many 9 is in 36?
4. 4.
How many 1 is in 36?
That's 36.
So when you add everything together, what do you have?
That's 49 over 36.
Over 36 square root. Don't forget.
Yes.
Right? So don't forget, you still have
Yes,
some things here.
So when you add all this together, I think it is 52, not 49.
Is what?
It's 52, not 49.
So 4 plus 36 is what?
It's 49, sir. It's 49.
Are you can you get it now? Is it clear now?
It's clear, sir. It's clear.
No, it happened. Don't worry. I understand.
We are fasting, sir.
Okay, no problem. It is what? Let's continue. So this one, if you find the square root of 49 is what?
So 7. 7 over
Find
6.
the square root of 36.
That's 6.
Over 6. Remember, you still have something up. What do we have up? 1/2 I and what? Minus 1/3. Please, somebody should call it for us. J plus K.
Minus 1/3. Minus 1/3J plus K.
Yeah. Now, this 6 will come up to multiply everything here. Am I right?
Yes.
It says 6 multiplied by 1/2I minus
Yes,
1/3J plus K, everything divided by 7. So in this case now, you have 6/2I minus 6/3J plus 6K. Everything divided by 7. So you agree with me if I said I have 3I minus 2J plus 6K divided by 7. So if you want to write this one in a neater way, don't forget, in most cases, when you see people put plus or minus because of the square root, I can put plus or minus here. Our plus or minus is because of the square root, the root that we work on here. So you have a plus or minus in brackets. Three over 7I minus 2/7J plus 6/7K. So that is the final answer. Remember where we started from? We are asked to determine a unit vector perpendicular. A unit vector perpendicular. Don't forget that. Any question? Silence means no question. Can we proceed, please?
Proceed, sir.
Somebody is coughing. No. Any question? Or you are clearing your throat?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's continue. So if you look at this, different question from different angle. Now let's quickly move to the cross and solve some of those problems in cross. For the cross, are we together?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So if this is number 3 now, if A equals to 3I minus J plus 2K, and B equals to 2I plus J minus K, and C equals to I minus 2J plus 2K. The question says find A cross B cross C, B A cross B cross C. So how do we solve this problem? What comes to your mind when we solved it last time? So the first thing we need to do is resolve what is the bracket before you expose the last one. So let's solve it. Solution. A cross B is the first thing we need to solve. So I have I, J, K. Don't forget the component. So pick the A. A is what? 3. You -1 and 2. Then B is 2, 1, and -1. Remember what I told you the last time? We have positive, negative, positive. So if I'm to solve the first one, if I pick this one out, everything in this place will be paralyzed. This is my column. We have column. Then this is my row. We have row. So for the column, you are not allowed to record. Don't worry. I will also send the detail to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Are you on the WhatsApp group, please?
Yes, sir.
Definitely, you will see it's there on your portal. Go to the non-portal, your course page. You will see the record of each of the week. I always upload it.
Okay, thank
It's
you,
there. You're welcome. So let's continue. So you look at this now. We can now pick. Remember, we are using I. It simply means that if I pick I, the row the I belongs to will be paralyzed. The column will also paralyze. So I'm left with -1 multiplied by -1. Can you see it? Minus 2 multiplied by 1. That is this multiplied by this, and this multiplied by this. So that is what I did. So don't forget this is negative here. Put the negative here. J. For J, you open the bracket too. So you open the bracket, you pick the J now. Remember, we release I, we pick J. The row, which is row 1, will be paralyzed. The column 2 will be paralyzed. Remain what? 3 multiplied by -1 minus 2 multiplied by 2. I hope I'm communicating now. Then the next one is positive K. Will be this column, this row will be paralyzed. The column will also paralyze. We have it to be 3 multiplied by -1 minus 2 multiplied by 2. Sorry. You know, we are doing the K, so it's going to be multiplied by 1. This one will paralyze, this one will follow. Remain 3 multiplied by 1 and 2 multiplied by -1. So we can write this one out. What do we have in this case? Let's look at the I. Let's solve the I. Negative times negative, 1. Minus 2 times 1, 2. Any question? Minus J, minus 3, minus 4, plus K, 3, plus 2. So here we have I into -1 minus J into -7 plus K into 5.
Excuse me, sir.
Go ahead.
For the K, is it not 3 times 1 minus 4?
For the K,
Yes, sir.
let's go there. This is K.
Okay.
When you pick K, remember you release J. I pick K. This one will paralyze. This one will also paralyze. Remain 3, 1, 2 multiplied by -1. Are you okay with that?
I've seen it now. I've seen it now, sir.
Okay. Any other question, please?
No, sir.
Okay. Let's continue. So we have -1 multiplied by I, negative I. Negative times negative, positive J, 7J, and plus 5K. So that is your A cross B. Remember, A cross B. So we need to now go ahead and we have A cross B cross C now. So it's going to be minus I plus 7J plus 5K cross, what is the C? Can you call C for me from your notes?
Okay, C is I minus 2J
minus
plus 2K.
2J plus 2K.
Yes. So we can see, we can now form, can we all solve it, please? Can you solve this one? Let me see whether we get it. Everybody try it.
Okay, so
Try it the way we solve this one. Then we'll compare our answers together.
The 2. Minus j. J cross minus 1 times 2 bracket minus 5 times 1
Okay,
Just
sir.
do
I'm
your
set.
own. You don't need to tell us.
plus 2.
Just do your own. Don't tell us. Once you finish, just raise up your hand. Then I'll call your name. And okay, Infine Joshua. Let's write it. Okay, Infine, tell us.
Okay, 24i plus 7j plus 5k.
Plus what?
5k.
Okay, that's Infine. Let's wait for others. Infine, you missed it anyway. Check it again.
Sam True.
Yes. And you didn't raise up
I have
your hand, so that's why I
no.
didn't.
I'm sorry, sir.
Chibuzo. Okay.
Chibuza. I have 24i minus 10j plus 5k
Minus what?
minus 10j
Uh-huh.
plus 5k.
Okay. Noted. But I don't think it's right.
Oops.
Who again?
Hello, sir.
Yes.
I have 24i plus 7j minus 5k.
Okay. Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Let's look at it together. We have minus j in this case. So I hope you are seeing what I'm doing now.
Because he's writing on the board. You are copying like yes, and okay, like going on and you a lot so big.
Are you seeing my own solutions? I'm missing your mistakes. If
I've seen it, sir.
So you have to be careful when you are
Yeah.
solving this.
Okay.
They are very simple and they can turn you upside down if care is not taken. So another question, are we tired?
No, sir.
Okay. Oh, we've not solved the other one.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
The D part.
okay.
But
I
sir,
think,
it is almost time, sir.
don't worry. As for me, my own class is not a regular class,
Okay.
except if you have somewhere you are going.
No, it's almost time for
Sir,
prayers.
let's continue, please.
Oh, for prayers.
Yes, sir.
Which prayer? What time?
I'm a Muslim, sir. It is 10 minutes after 4.
Don't worry. Just go for your prayer when you will see the recording. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you, sir.
But if you finish the prayer, you can still come and join us. If you are still there, you'll meet us there.
Okay, sir.
Is that okay now?
It's
Because
okay, sir.
remember,
We have another class 4 to 5, sir.
no problem. Just go for that in your own case. How many of us have another class, please? I also have another class, but because I know you guys are lacking a lot of things behind, so now he's not going to pay me for extra charges, but I'm just doing it for my own personal things. Is that okay?
Yes,
So,
yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So I will allow you to go and solve. Don't let me waste my time on B. I believe you can solve B and C.
Yes, sir.
Should I give you the final answer?
Can we do that and post it on the WhatsApp group, sir?
Yes, please do that.
So it's only B. I don't have C.
No, B. I'm talking about B and C here. B cross C.
Yes, of course.
B cross C, you now do A cross B cross C. But don't forget, you have to do which one? You have to do B cross C first before you go back and say A cross BC. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Please take note of that. So we can do that on our own time. And make sure you can post the answer to later today on the platform. Then for the triple product, when you have a triple product, how do we solve it? They can ask you to prove. And I've seen a lot of questions on that aspect too. They will ask you prove that a triple product, if you have, they will give you A, they will give you B and C. They will ask you to prove it. So if you can prove it, it will help you to be able to solve as many problems as possible when it comes to this. But I'll give us one question on that. So we have the triple products. The triple products. To ask you for the triple product, what's from the word triple? What does it mean, please? Anybody?
Combination of cross and dot.
Is that a triple?
No,
I don't think
three
so.
vectors. 3 vectors.
Three vectors. 3. Triple means 3. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So when you have three products, you say if A equals to A1Ji, sorry, A1I plus A2J plus A3K. Then B is equals to B1I plus B2J plus B3K. Then C is C1I plus C2J plus C3K. The question says, show that A dot BC, B cross C is equals to A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So how do we solve this problem? Solution. The way we solve it is A dot B cross C is the same thing as, don't forget, A dot. We have A dot I J K. Remember, we are talking about B cross C. So it simply means B1, B2, B3, and C1, C2, C3. So these are the things we are talking about. So all you need to do is, you know the definition of A, then we find the cross for B and C. Then you multiply the two together. So we are saying that A1J plus A2, A1I plus A2J plus A3K dot. Now let's look at this. How do we get this out of it? When I pick, don't forget plus, minus, plus. I'm solving I now. I will be out. It simply means I is here. Everything here will paralyze. Everything here will paralyze. I have B2 multiplied by C2, C3. B2, C3 minus B3, C2. You finish the I. Don't forget the next thing is plus J. In this case, what we have, you pick the J, you release the I. So everything here will paralyze, everything here will paralyze. I have B1, C3 minus,
Excuse me, sir.
I'm coming, B3, C1.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Why is the J plus? Is it not supposed to be minus?
Yes, it's supposed to be minus.
Okay.
Now I will explain to you. Remember, we are trying to prove something now. When we get to that place, I will tell you. Remember the definition of a cross. When you are doing, when we are doing at this point. All we are doing is, if you put, let's do it this way. I will explain later.
Okay.
Are you following me now?
Yes, sir.
Plus K. Plus K. So what do we have for K? This
B1
release
C2.
J.
Well, B1 C2 minus B2 C1.
Which is you.
Is that K? B1 C2
C2
minus B2 C1. So let I goes to I and let J goes to J. Let K goes to K. Remember, we have AI, which is A1, right? A1 in bracket what?
Minus B2.
B2 C3 minus B3 C2. J, there will not be any J again. Who can tell me why?
The coefficient inside cancel each other.
No, it's the component.
Okay.
It's the component will cancel each other. B1, that is J dot J is equals to 1. Please listen. K dot K is equals to 1. I dot I is equals to 1. When you have J dot I is equals to 0, any question?
So I didn't understand that part. You just explained some. Please.
No, this is what I'm saying. Anytime you have AI dot BI is the same thing as AB. Because I will multiply I. Anytime you have I dot I is 1. I dot any other component is equals to 0. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So now, what it simply means is equals to A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, B3, C1, C2, C3. So if you open these brackets, the person that asked me the other one, that why are we using negative? Remember that at this point, our law, what we are trying to prove in this case is we are not looking for determinants. All we are looking for is just to show that this particular AP, this particular one is equals to this. If you are using determinant, that is when we can now say that we have positive. I intentionally put this one there so that you will know that this law holds anytime you are looking for determinant of A. Are you getting the point now? Remember in your, is it calculus or in your linear algebra, they taught you guys about matrices. How many of you still remember?
We do, sir.
Okay, sir.
MTA 212. right?
You thought of this.
We call it calculus. Inside the calculus, you are taught this one. So all you need to do is remember, I'm trying to prove that this is equal to this. So that is why I maintain the status quo that everything here will be addition. Please take note of that. But otherwise, when you are asked to calculate the determinant of the real numbers and some other products, you will have to put negative. Please take note of that. Any question?
So I'm looking at the final part of the proving. So I'm here to, please, can you scroll down some? Please. Okay. Scroll up, sir. Yes, sir. Where we are having the final answer, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. The A1, A2, how will come about the the final proving. I mean, and I understand the part where we have A into B2, C3.
Oh, you want me to show you how you come across this?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, it's very simple. It's the same way we solve the first one. Look at it. If I want this particular matrix, what I said, this one equals to this. Now, watch me. If I want to solve this problem now, I said I pick A1. A1, right?
Yes, sir.
The line, the A1 is there, is the first row is first column parallelized, first row parallelized. What do you have? I have B2, C3.
Okay, sir. I get it, sir. I get it.
Wait now, let me explain. You understand the point now. Then
Yes,
this one minus B3, C2. Do we have the same thing here?
Yes, sir.
So remember, we are not doing, like I told you, we are not doing the stuff, because what they ask us to do is this one. If you do it, I said plus A2 now. This one will parallelize, this one will parallelize. I have B1, C3 minus B3, C1. Then, if I put this one there, A3, this one cancels this one. But this one will be B1, C2 minus B2, C1. So, what do we have? Do we have the same thing? You discover that this is equals to this, then this is equals to this, then this is equals to this. So that is why they said yes, this equals to everything. Mind you, if you still put the negative here, let's say Z positive, negative, positive, do you know that you still have the same thing? Because this place will always be negative. If this one is negative, if this place is negative with your proof, you show that this you are using negative from day one. At the end of the day, when you want to prove this one, we also show you negative. Hello? Do you get the analysis I did?
Yes, I did.
So, anyway, let's look at the last question. But I can ask you to go and solve it for yourself. Or the last question for today says, let's look at this. Says, evaluate 2i minus 3j dot I plus j minus k cross 3i minus k. If you want to evaluate this one now, solution now, How do you evaluate it? If you use the same result above, to evaluate it is simple. We said 2, -3. What is K here?
Okay, is 0.
0. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. Because this represents A, B, and C. Then you have here, you have I, which is 1, 1, -1. You have 3, 0, -1. Please solve it. Let me see the answer, please. Everybody solve it. So what do you have?
Still on this, sir.
You. Yes, if you raise up your hand. Unmute yourself, please. Ifeanyi Joshua.
-2i plus 3j.
You can't have high. There's no high any at all. You are just to get the value. Evaluate.
Evaluate.
Just a single value. You don't need to introduce I, you don't need to introduce anything. Remember, when you do the cross product, when you do this, they will have crossed themselves out. Right? And you cross it first, you dot it second. So then we already know that we are using above results. Above results show us that A is A1, A2, A3 is on top.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
My answer is 5.
Your own answer is 5. Okay, let's wait for others.
I said my answer is 5.
Okay,
Yes.
Idoko, noted. Let's wait for others.
All right.
My answer is 6.
Okay, noted. Let's wait for others.
Mine is -1.
Oh, let's wait for others.
Oh, your head is pumping.
Any other person?
Very hot.
I copied the wrong thing, sir. Ah.
Okay. Are we there now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will advise us to back to this place. If you change this place to positive, to negative rather, we don't need to mind whether this, let's change this one to negative from onset. Are you getting it? Change it to negative. Let's just follow the rule from day one. If you follow the rule from day one, whether we are asked to calculate, once your answer is correct to this one, change it to, just change this one to negative, like we earlier said. If you change it to negative, because the rule will be applicable here, and I can sense the rule from what you guys are doing, because we are dealing with figure now, positive, negative, positive. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
So you have 2.
Yes,
If
sir.
you pick the first one, 2. Now, the row will paralyze, the color will paralyze. You have 1, -1, 0, -1. Now we have -3 here. So everything here will be what? Everything will paralyze here. This will paralyze. You have 1, -1, 3, -1. Plus 0, because this is 0. 0 multiplied by anything is 0. So we don't need to disturb ourselves. You have 2 in brackets, -1 -0, minus times minus, +3. This is -1 minus -3. -1 to -3. Let me put it this way. So at the end of the day, what do we have? You have 2 in bracket -1 plus 3 in brackets -1 plus 3. Am I right?
That's 2. That's 2.
It's 2.
That's 2. So you have -2 plus 6.
That's
The answer is 4. How many of
That's
us
4.
got 4?
No.
None. Okay. I believe you know it.
Oh my God.
Any question? Is it interesting?
Yes, sir.
The thing render me
It
speechless.
is, sir.
You said what, Chibuzo?
It render me
No, I'm not.
speechless.
It rather you do what?
Speechless, sir.
Speechless. Why now? Okay, go ahead. Idoko, you want to say something? Okay. Anyway,
No, I'm okay. It's interesting, sir.
it's interesting. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I hope you guys you are telling your friends that we've started the class.